And we're live. What's up, Tristan?
What's going on, Carlo?
Oh, just stressing along with you, trying to get this thing all buttoned up for Legion's Con.
Yeah. Emphasis on stressing.
Stressing out, right? So, just for anybody that comes tunes in later on repeat or anything, we're like 3 weeks away from Legion's Con. We got Halloween coming up one of these weekends, and we got um, I'm running work extra routes on the weekends, so we are just finding every single minute of the day to try to get these things finished up. We got stuff out there printing currently. We're gonna have a vigorous printing schedule. I got like three bottles of resin that we gotta turn into something. So one of those things we're gonna turn it into is what Tristan's working on today. Tristan, I'm gonna have you maximize your camera while you're talking about it, so I can go search through my files and try to import something to work on today.
All right.
Let's explain the project again for anybody that's catching it fresh.
So, a couple weeks ago, Mom said that she wanted to do a custom, and Carlo got some pieces together.
Mom being Jennifer Alaki, who's part of Immortal Collections.
Yep.
She does our soft goods.
Did you stream last weekend?
Last weekend I was working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then.
So this was our last stream.
Those who saw that stream saw the stuff that he was working on, I was working on. But for anybody who hasn't seen, I'll just show again. And anybody who hasn't, seen my Facebook posts, I am doing a dragon staff for her custom. She really wanted it to be like fairy dragon themed, so that's what we're doing.
She always helps us with our customs. She makes the clothes for our customs, and she base coats a lot of our customs. And she just sat here like 2-3 weeks ago and said, "You know what? I'd like to make a custom this year because they got the Ghost of Christmas Past body out." And
Right.
she's been wanting to do the dress basically on one of these Mythic Legions characters for a while. We actually modeled a torso to fit that, so she could do that, but she never ended up doing anything with it, and that was what, like 3 years ago now.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago.
So the funny thing is, Tristan, you modeled underwear, which are pretty much the same things. We could print up underwear for the table too, because you still have that underwear file.
Yeah,
but you did underwear, and you did a not a nude top, but it had a tight kind of push-up bra on it, so it was
just to like it was really just to simulate like what it would look like when they are wearing something.
Actually, I do have that right here. Hold on.
Because I guess just to explain on a technical level, like when you're wearing clothes, obviously they aren't like breasts aren't hanging, they would be pushed up.
So flip back over to my screen, full screen it, because I got this here. So this is the put her in front of the light. This is the torso and the underwear that you made. Now, you made this before Ghost of Christmas Past came out, but one thing we did is we did the underwear complete through the crotch, so that it would give this look, that you wouldn't have that big square gap right there. And I think we did really well. And this was, again, way before Christmas Past came out. They did theirs slightly different, but it's the same basic thought. And like a lot of people are looking for these underwear. A lot of people are looking for underwear. So, I just had that idea just right now. But this is the top that you made. Again, is form fitting. So her dresses are going to fit these. The other thing I worked on a few weeks ago and we buttoned up and finished up was this crown right here. I'm gonna put it in front of here.
I see it super well on screen.
Yeah, I know you can't, but basically,
show off the one that she painted. You can see that one a lot better.
Yeah, you can. I'd have to find it.
Oh, it's currently on her. I have it down here. Hold on, I can show it.
Then you show it. Take me off the screen. But anyway, Uh,
Um, so if I can focus in on that,
yeah, I don't know. It's a crown. It's a
this
leafy
is
crown.
what it looks like. You can kind of you can
It's all
kind
right.
of tell that there's like a dragon face in there,
Yeah, so I'll just talk about the
horns,
crown.
flower bits, wings,
So the
whatnot.
crown will actually fit. The cool thing that we found is it'll actually fit a skull head. You're not full screen, but
I know.
okay, so it'll actually fit on some of the Mythic Legion's skulls. This one's a little big. We did different sizes to see how they would fit. Apparently, this is the wrong size one. The one you have fits on the skull perfectly. This one fits a bigger head. So we did like 3 or 4 different sizes to fit different heads because some of the female heads have hair on them that's bigger than other ones. So we did like 3 or 4 sizes, but as you can see, that would give you like a. I don't know. I think we should do a skeleton in a dress with this thing. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Almost like Metallica, a Metallica album cover or something like that. But anyways, we have those coming. We're just talking about your crown, Jenny. Do you want to say anything about it since I'm on full screen? Like, how do you think it came out? This was your idea, and I sculpted it, right?
Yeah, I think it came out better than I imagined that it would. It was like you just like plucked it from my mind.
So the thing that I found that was super interesting is these little leaves. You can actually see the the flower petals, and you can actually see is it serrations in the leaves? I don't know, the little leaf jig jaggy things.
Yeah.
You can actually see that in this print. And
It's kind of
Tristan, we've
crazy with how
always
small it is.
I know I don't know if you can see
It
it in
took
the
me
light.
4 hours to paint it.
Yeah, but she's newer painting, but like this is we always go through. Are you even going to be able to see this? And we have what 14K printer now, so
Yeah.
like these printers are able to capture so much of this detail that I would never even
So much
expect.
small detail. Yeah.
And like the crazy thing here is like these little horns on the front of the dragon. They're so thin, but they're flexy. So
I
I'm
never
not
would have thought
super
that it would have been
worried.
able to capture that level of detail.
Well, that those little, you mean just the little horns? Like I don't even know if you can actually see the lines on the horns or not. But we do need to take this in with your staff to see how big these are next to that staff and see what kind of detail you can squeeze in there. But yeah,
Yeah.
these flower petals on this leaf, they're nuts. That I
Well,
Did you
uh,
redo those? You
what's
said you were
that?
gonna do something. I don't know what you did with the flowers. Did you retouch the flowers?
Uh, all I really did was I beefed them up just slightly
Yeah,
and moved some of the back ends so that it would be like flush to the rest of the head.
yeah.
I did my best to make sure that like the alterations wouldn't change uh like integrity of what you sculpted.
Right. Okay. I have to see. Don't think you've given me that fixed model. But just one thing that I want to say about
Yeah.
this anti-impact resin is it is, if you can look at this, it's flexing and it's not snapping. So there's bend to this. So I'm pretty confident that these crowns should survive
Even
multiple drops.
even the little
The little baby
tiny
ones.
horns
Yeah.
coming off the dragon's head.
Yeah.
Like I thought, like, oh, these are so thin,
They're
like
gonna
it's
break.
gonna break.
Yeah.
But so many times when putting that on her head, I have accidentally like pressed down there where I shouldn't have,
Yeah.
and they have maintained integrity. So they,
All right. So good to go. so, so good to
Yes.
go. So
It's good
that's
to go.
that's
It's a winner.
that was 2 weeks. So this crown, I'm just gonna say this outright. This crown probably took me 15 plus hours total to model. And the things that was giving me problems with this crown was intersecting geometry and pockets. And people might not know what that is. But as we sculpt these things, it'll look good on screen, but just looking good on screen and actually being able to print without leaking resin out or exploding is a whole different thing. So after you spend, 7 to 10 hours sculpting it, right? You got to go back in then and double check to make sure you don't have any holes in the model or places where resin can pool up.
Get trapped.
Yeah, so Tristan and I went back and forth, and he actually ended up finding things. I mean, I spent 3+ hours just moving these little pieces around, and I thought I had everything perfect. And then Tristan was like, "Nope, you got holes everywhere." So then I went
You
back and
got
did it
holes
again. He's like,
everywhere.
"Nope, you still got some holes, but I fixed them." Like, well, I'm glad I got you here. So that's the team effort right there. That's Jenny's idea. As far as that goes, it is me sculpting it and Tristan fixing it. So we're gonna have a bunch of, and Jenny's painting it. Sorry. So we have a bunch of these. I don't know how much we're getting painted this year. Hopefully there'll be a few painted things on the table. Tristan, you're gonna paint some things up, but that's the
Stuff we
crown
do get
project.
painted. The stuff we do get painted is gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. So this is this project. This we're gonna call this done. I got a bunch of these printed out. We'll probably print out a bunch more, and we'll have these available in sets and then by themselves. So that is the Dragon Crown. To go along with that, I did one other thing, and I'll just go back to your screen, Tristan, while I'm looking.
All right. Yeah, well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the Dragon Staff. My this project took probably quite a bit longer than his, just because sometimes as you go and as you do something, you just put more and more into it, and it just looks like you just really like the way it's going. You want to do this, you want to do that, and
You start to feel it. You start to feel it, and you start to get excited about it. So then you want to focus in.
yeah. And
You
then
know.
I probably spent more time than I needed to on it, but I think that the time that I spent on it was well worth it for the result that I got. And there's still a couple of things that I need to touch up on. The wings, they look a little just a little tubular.
Tubular, dude. Tristan, I think they're radical.
Yeah, I need to spend a little time just detailing that out slightly. I'm not gonna go super crazy with it. Just gonna bring it out just a little bit more, because I mean they are kind of front and center there. Gonna button that up. Gonna button up a couple of things with the scales, and I wanted to. My intention when I first started sculpting this and around this little area here was to give a little space for some horns, or some me and mom had talked about maybe some antennas for like what moths have or something like that, just to kind of give it a little bit of difference, and show that it's more fairy like than just typical dragon. And around the elbows and around the knees, they're still kind of bare. I didn't really do much around these areas, so I might sculpt something really really quick in terms of little horns or spikes that can rest in those areas. I realized I forgot to sculpt in the scales for this hand, so I'm gonna do that. That'll be really quick, really I did that for this hand, and it was just really quick. I just laid them on there, and then I took an inflate brush and just inflated them out so that it would pop out more in the final print.
Right.
And then probably just going to touch up on some of those areas, with some of the areas that I inflated, they look kind of balloonish. So
Okay, yeah.
just go back and
Are you talking scales, or
up.
what's the balloonish looking thing?
The scales, like around the tail especially. I feel like the
Yeah, I find with the scales, if you just take it like, and I mean, I know you'd probably know this, but like when you see something that looks soft, as we talk about them, like if you just take the Damien standard, run some lines over it, and then around the corners, just use the pinch brush, maybe the pinch brush first around the corners of it, and then the
Yeah.
Damien standard in the cracks is how we like sharpen those up. Those are your wings, and again, we got a new printer that is a lot higher detail, right? We just talked about that with the other thing. So flick back over and solo me so I can show this wing. Um, and again, this is maybe Jenny. Maybe you want to go get the painted one from downstairs so we can show it off better.
Yeah,
So
she can
this
just
is
kind
the
of get the
wing.
whole figure.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we want to show the whole figure off, or we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till Legion's Con to
I'm
show
not.
the
I'm
whole
not
figure.
saying you gotta show the whole
Yeah,
figure.
I
Just
got you.
like come and get
So,
it.
anyways, this is the wing. This is another wing that I sculpted. This one probably took me 10 hours, I think, total, which actually I'm really surprised I got through that quick. So, um, but I did. And again, I didn't know, Tristan and I went back and forth like, are you going to see these details when actually printed up? I got to tell you, just holding this thing and seeing these little scales I put on it, it puts me in mind of like a gecko skin or
Yeah.
like some type of little lizard skin because like I think if you we did an actual like, a green to try to make it look realistic, I think it could pass for a little a reptile body part. Obviously not the wing part, but like I'm really impressed with all these little. I don't know if you can see them or not, but all these little spines I put on the wings. They're
Mhm.
solid, and all these little. So that gave Tristan a little bit of uh, not inspiration, but
Motivation.
not
Maybe.
motivation. Um, it makes you words it makes you more comfortable with putting in smaller details, right? So
Oh
it
yeah,
makes
for
gives
sure.
you. And so then just on my screen, I think I got a better light on it. So this is Jenny's crown. um it is super detailed, all these little flowers, you can see the petals. And whether or not anybody buys these or cares about these, like as artists, like it's just awesome seeing like something that you made all painted up. And Jenny painted this up, right? So like
Hmm.
she's caught so many, and she said it took her 4 hours. I believe it because she has little uh pearlized pearls on this thing, and she has like she painted every little thing I sculpted. I thought for sure she'd just like green up a whole bunch of it and like miss flowers, but from what I see, like she didn't miss any flowers. So I would say that's a great job, honey. Like I'm inspecting
Yeah.
it live on air for the first time. So I don't see anything or anything broke off super bad. Um, and then where's the wing? Did you bring the wing? Yeah, yeah. So this is. I'll take them off. They'll come right off.
I'm gonna bring us both back.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I got the wing right here. It's gonna be a. So here's her wing. She's got the shimmery blue on it. I think
Yeah,
that
you can
looks
see that a
awesome.
lot better.
This is totally a girl dainty whimsical fairy wing. Like I I am so happy with how this turned out. Not only from like I think the thickness of the wing, I don't have to worry about it breaking. Like I like the sculpt is my sculpt, but I'm saying I'm happy with how it turned out. There's a few things like the curvature here on the wing, like it's blowing or moving. I don't know if I intentionally did that to begin with, but I saw it and I just decided to go with it. So it's not just like a flat, wing, right? And
The
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 other thing,
only the only thing I think, if I were to give any criticism at all, I feel like the curve of the wing, like you should have the peg uh on the other side.
okay, I see where you're
You
coming
you
with
kind you
that,
kind of you kind of see where I'm coming from with
but
that.
I think wings can kind of do different flappies. You know what I mean? Like I don't know
Yeah.
if they're
I
rigid
I don't
like
know.
that.
It like just
I understand what you're saying.
initially it seems just kind of like an unnatural curve.
Yeah. Well, that's the curve we got, and I liked it. So
Hey,
if I mean I could obviously put this peg on the other side, like lickety split if I want to. And I'm going to do different wings in different positions, right? So I'm going to have more outstretched wings or bigger ones or smaller ones.
Mhm.
But like we have these other characters, which um, you can go back to you, but like we have other reptilian like characters in the line or ideas. So like I could always scale these up, but these are supposed to be dainty fairy wings. You know what I mean? But I love how
Mhm.
the color turned out. She's got to put a little bit of wash on the horns a little bit, but other than that, like I think these two colors, and we didn't plan these colors out. She just picked two colors she really liked and said, I think, well, no, not really. We looked at her dress and we're like, let's look at the dress and try to match the wings to the dress she made. So
Yeah.
Knew I wanted shimmer.
she wanted shimmer. She wanted to be shimmery and whimsical, magical.
You
So
know, I was on Facebook or whatever the other day, and something came across my timeline. I was looking at the reels, and something came across that it was a website, and they have an app that you can download, basically just for generating color palettes. And
yeah, because we talked about that, right?
yeah,
Is
like
that
the free version of it like can generate up to 5 colors in the palette.
okay?
But if you pay for it, you can obviously add more colors to it. And I was messing around with that last night when I was putting the colors when I was playing with the colors on this guy, because like I put colors on it previously, but I kind of changed them around a bit last night just to
Okay,
see like if I could come up with something that looked a bit more I guess pleasing to the eye. I don't
you're
know.
talking about the dragon staff.
Yeah.
See, this whole time I seen that dragon staff in my mind, I just thought wood handle, and then I thought I don't even know. I didn't think the shimmery, but like, do you know what color you want to paint that dragon? Is it going to be shimmery the same as she's shimmery, or is it going to be different?
So
It might have some of the same
I'm talking
colors.
to your
sorry.
mom.
It might have some of the same colors, uh but I am going to add another color that maybe is not that I have not used
Okay.
yet.
Very cool, honey. So there's that. Tristan, you got some more stuff you want to talk about on that project?
Um. Yeah. Just I'm just buttoning stuff up. I could be doing that for the entirety of the stream. We'll see where it goes, but I would like to maybe spend a little bit of time, putting together like a nice little render of it. See if we can get some like some nice renders that we could maybe turn into like little prints that we could
I
send with
mean,
it. That's just kind of
I
something I was thinking about.
I just don't know how much time we got for all that stuff. But the rest of the thing that was the last project you had to finish, right, before Legion's Con.
Yeah, and then pretty much the next 2 weeks I'm going to be spending painting.
Right. If you can see my screen right here, we have this Cyber Oni project, right? That kind of got thrown to the back burner. Um, I really, I really, really wanted this to be my major thing this year, and then, like all good projects, I move on to something else. Um, and I moved on to the female heads, and Tristan and I, really like where my female heads are going. The only issue with that is that I didn't finish this awesome thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like now this is like in jeopardy of not getting completed. Actually, I'm going to try to finish the torso and the leg here before Legion's Con so I can get it together. We had the big sword that Tristan made for this project, and I have like 5 projects I'm still working on. So in order to get those done, I'm not going to be painting for Legion's Con this year. We're going to be painting as a group, probably some scaphoid shields week of Legion's Con and clearing them and driving them up there. But as far as me personally doing custom painting and stuff, usually we try to have a bunch of heads ready. Not saying we won't have any heads ready or any of these parts will be unpainted or painted, but we're 3D sculptors and designers. It's always good to have painted pieces to go along that with that so people can see it. But in the end, like our specialty is this. It's making the parts for people to use. So with us being part of Wolf King coming up here in a little bit and releasing parts, we have a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be sitting okay with as far as timely releases. So we'll be fresh in people's minds for a while. Um, One of those projects is the Cyberoni piece. Now, Tristan, we tried to print, or you tried to support this, and you said I had gaps and holes all over the place,
Yeah,
voids and whatnot. So, like,
there were quite a few.
right. So my issue is I know that certain things can be filled and certain things are okay. What I did is I separated the front shim piece off of this. So currently my goal today is to uh go through here. If you can see this this piece, all the objects are one solid gray. What I'm going to go ahead and do is the poly group this and do auto groups on this thing so you can see all the pieces this thing's made up out of. And um, I'm going to try to simplify it enough to where we're not going to have those holes that I talk about, the resin holes. So even though it looks really good like this, it's going to be very difficult to print. And even if it does print, Tristan, the other thing is like, as far as the voids go and stuff like that, maybe this piece, I don't make the parts for sale this year. And I just try to get it printed up for my one big custom.
Yeah, well,
And then,
that's what I was thinking. Just like as we've been sitting here talking about it, I was thinking it's like even if you just printed out one good one for the table, like I think
yeah.
that would be good enough.
I think that is the direction I think I want to go with it. But again, if you like look in here, if I zoom into the screen, you'll see that this yellow and purple are intersecting. That's not bad if they intersect. The problem is if there is a hole like right in here where they come in and then I put something over top of it, then this little corner could hold resin. So this is just something that we're gonna have to go back and forth. And this isn't like why I haven't done this on the stream yet is because it's not exciting or fun. But at this point in time, we just have to use the hours we have to finish the stuff. So I'm gonna go through here one by one. This is what I did with the crown. I'm gonna make sure this object right here doesn't have any holes in it, right? Which it looks like I'm pretty good, like this big piece right here. And then I'm going to split this off as its own object. And I've already done this a bunch of times, but Tristan, just like the crown, said it wasn't going to work. So now I got to go back here and pretty much redo that process again, just to make sure
I
that
kind of
all
ended
these
up being a
pieces are
buzzkill
solid.
with some of this stuff because
I said,
he'll be
"What
like
do you mean it's not
happy.
working?" I said,
He'll
"What
be
does
like
it mean?"
happy with it, and he'll want to like he'll be ready to go. Tell me to print it. I'd be like, you can't print this.
What do you mean? I spent 4 hours on it. No, no, it's gonna work. It's going. And then I look back into it after I calm down a little bit. I'm like, yeah, yeah, you're right. So, but I'm glad. I mean, this is like tech stuff that is very important for like new people who might try to get into 3D printing to know. And like again, this is a new consumer art, you know, uh art. It's new for people. So um you know people are going to make mistakes, and we've made this mistake, so now we know what not to make. Okay, so for example, these are two pieces that look like they intersect correctly, right? So what I'll do is these are their own separate piece. I'm going to go over to Dynamesh right now, and I'm going to turn it up to about 1,000 on the Dynamesh process, and I'm going to hit Dynamesh it. So it'll take these two objects that are two separate pieces, and it'll turn it into a watertight mesh. And after I do this and I run this process, boom, I can see if I lose any detail. So like this stuff right in the cracks here, this is the loss of detail. And this is what Tristan and I go back and forth with is like what's too low to Dynamesh and what's not too low to Dynamesh. Now I like that, but I'm gonna back out of it because I forgot to do something. This cylinder is still faceted, right? So um I have to put I have to separate these two. And this is where it's just like you make the mistakes over and over and over and over, and you just got to go through it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to split these if they're two separate objects, which they are. I'm going to hide this one and I'm going to split it, split hidden. So now these are two separate objects altogether. So in this process, I'm going to come through and I'm going to find like a whole bunch of stuff that I like and don't like. So if I do this to this piece right here, it changes how that looks in the vents. So I have to decide whether I want these to be diamond shaped or oval shaped here, which doesn't seem hard surface to me. I like the hard vents. You know, hard surface can look a lot of different ways. But this is not okay for me right here. So I got to keep the hard square edges, and then I have to get rid of the faceting. So what I've found to do, Tristan, and correct me if there's a better way, is I'll go to dynamic subdivision and turn that on. And under the dynamic subdivision menu, there's different. There's a flat subdivision, which is what I usually use. And again, these are more rounded at the tips right here.
So you trying to flatten those out?
Well, I'm trying to smooth out the top to make it more oval, but
But
not
you want to keep those crisp.
square.
You just create a crease.
Yeah, in the subdivision, or where do I create the crease at?
So
I think Q grade kind of does that too. Like
so I wouldn't do it like that. So if you go into shoot, where would it be on your screen? It would probably be in modified topology, I think. No. It would be it's in the crease menu in the geometry bar. Like if you go to the geometry menu, you go to crease.
Geometry,
You can hit crease, right? You wouldn't do crease all, but you would do crease, and you would set the tolerances to like maybe a bit lower in your case. Actually, you know what, 45 degrees is probably good for what you're
you can see that you can see that on your monitor, that little.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you would turn on the dynamic subdivision for that to see how it looks. And then it'll still probably create a somewhat rounded edge. But what you can do is you can go into your Z modeler and just make a poly loop, like right up against those edges or those corners, and that'll tighten that up a little bit more.
So when I go to the dynamic subdivision, do you want me to hit like flat subdivide, smooth subdivisions, like 2 or whatever?
Yeah, you don't have to smooth them. Just pretty much what I suggested about just for the C tolerance. Sorry, I probably should have specified. You want to keep the C tolerance around 45.
Yeah.
Because that'll be in degrees, is like 45 degrees.
Okay.
And basically just hit crease. It should create a crease. Go to, and then turn on dynamic subdivision.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any numbers next to these subdivision levels. Like just turning it on. Is it Q grade?
It would be SDiv.
Smooth.
There should be a bar in the dynamic subdivision menu that says SDiv.
Yeah. I got smooth subdivide. Is that what that is?
Hold on, let me full screen you.
I have flat subdivision, smooth subdivision, dynamic bevel options. I have dynamic thickness, micro poly options, and I don't see no SDiv.
Then okay, yeah, so probably smooth subdivisions.
Oh, there it is. There it is
yeah,
up
there it
here.
is.
So how do I get that highlighted?
Do you have dynamic turned on?
Dynamics.
Oh
turned
wait, you
on.
know what? You know what?
SDiv is in geometry.
Yeah, SDiv
Something different.
is the actual subdivisions. Sorry, the dynamic
I think it's smooth.
would be it would be smooth subdivisions.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay. That's okay. All right. So we have this new subdivisions. I go back to the crease mode, which is in subtool, or where's that crease at?
So you yeah, it would be in the crease menu in the geometry. Or
Geometry.
you're in geometry. Go to the crease menu.
Okay. Sorry, I thought that was a different thing.
Okay.
So I just mess with the.
Well, just go ahead and crease it as it is, if you don't have it already.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you go into, you could probably raise that to like 90 degrees even. I would increase it to 90 because that will go ahead and hit it again.
Hit what? Crease. I got it. Rehit it every time.
Yeah. So now.
So go back into Z modeler and go to insert edge loop.
Insert edge loop. Okay.
Yeah.
Now just
come in here like this way.
Outside. Like outside the long lines.
Oh, what is this? Oh, stupid thing. I hate this canvas.
Yeah.
It always. All right. You said outside here?
Yeah. No, on the edge loop.
Can I get that off? I gotta turn this back to. All right, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out live on air.
You're actually like wigging out.
Okay. Because I have this smooth subdivision on. I just need this off for a second so I can understand what I'm looking at. This is why we don't do this project live on the air. Go to your screen, Tristan. Do your thing. I'll figure this out.
You're giving me anxiety just looking at you.
Well, I don't do a whole lot of this different way. I mean, usually it's like sculpting fleshy stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like
I mean, it is definitely more of a learning curve when you start to move into like more hard surface things, and like using things like the dynamic subdivision in my experience really helps a lot when you want to.
Okay, so come in here, look at mine again. I did it. I just couldn't tell that I did it, right? This is what you're saying to do right here on my screen?
No.
No, not that.
Yeah, no. So not on that part. The
inside here?
No, not on the corners. On the outside, the poly loop that is creating the long, yes.
This one.
Yeah. Now push that up at the edge. Like so create the poly loop and drag it all the way to the edge.
Here.
Yes. There you go.
Okay. And then do it down here.
Yes.
Anywhere else? Here and here?
I mean, you don't really have to do that. That's why you create the crease.
Okay.
So if you go back and you create the creases again, so go back into your crease menu. Okay. Now just hit crease. All right, that'll go in and crease all those hard edges. All right. Now turn your dynamic subdivision back on. There you go. You see?
Oh my goodness, thank you, Tristan. Such
Yeah.
a frustrating situation. Some of them aren't done right though. Some of them look weird. So I don't know what that's about, but I'm gonna look.
Well, you could probably go in and create another edge loop at the bottom, like so turn on your
I'll figure it out. Just go back to your thing. I
okay.
won't spend too much time on this. I get it. That's what I mean. I didn't know you wanted me to go up and down. I thought you just want to make a box around it. But when I do that on my own, actually, Tristan, because I've done that same process before. Just I was having a meltdown right there. Thanks for the assist. I have just made it around all four edges on all of it. So like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, either way, I've done it different ways before, depending on like what I'm doing or
mhm.
uh, what each individual case calls for. But again, like kind of with what I was saying, like being comfortable with using sub or dynamic subdivision and like the Z modeler tools, increasing and whatnot. Like those are kind of things that I learned to like rely on when creating hard surface to like help me get just like a smooth effect like all
Right.
around, you know what I mean?
So I think the reason why those edges happened, and I don't really even know what I'm looking at. I think I double clicked an edge somewhere because I don't know if I'm looking at a creased edge or two edges right next to each other. But I'm just gonna call that good.
Okay.
I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna dynamesh it. Then I'm gonna go on that edge that I don't like, and I'm gonna just smooth it out by hand, which is not probably the most effective process, but hopefully it'll be a little bit quicker. So one thing about that dynamic subdivision that, if anybody's wondering, once you put it on there, it's not finalized, right? So you have to go in and you have to
It's a
apply it,
very non-destructive workflow.
right? So we're going to apply that subdivision. So now this object, right, is smoothed out finally, and it's got the vents in here that I want. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn this into a Dynamesh, and it has subdivision levels. Can I exit out of that? So, anyways, here it is, Dynameshed, right? And I got a couple hard edges here, so I can go back in here now with the smooth the smooth tool, and I can just kind of smooth that out slightly so it's not so hard. And even after I Dynameshed it, you really can't tell them that it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like I don't really even need to do this. And that's the thing. Dynamesh takes away a little bit of the crispness. Um, so I'm just doing here is I'm going to Dynamesh and
Depending on the resolution that you dynamesh it at.
yeah, but this is kind of okay for where I want it because again, this is just little detail inside the body. Um, and this is the kind of stuff that some people might not even think about when they're when I tell you that I put in 14 to 18 hours on some sculpts. You're like, what would you do? I mean, that doesn't make sense why it would take that long. Like I see people do it live and it doesn't look like because it's this little stuff, this little attention to detail that you want to put in there. So once I get a piece like this and I'm happy with it, right? I like to save each individual piece out so I could bring it in somewhere else later, right? So and I don't even really cylinder. Um I don't even know what to call it. I'm not gonna do that now. But anyways, I'll go back through and I'll save these out later. So from here, I'm gonna duplicate it because I always duplicate when I go to merge or Dynamesh something so I have a backup copy of it. So from here, I have these two objects. I'm going to merge them down so they're one object. Uh, Over here to merge down. Hit OK. And so now these two pieces are butted up against each other. All that 10-minute worth of effort just to say, hey, you two pieces right here, I want you to be on one layer, and I'm going to do the same process here that we did before. I'm going to click the Dynamesh at 1,000, and I'm going to hit it. And so now these two pieces is what they call watertight. This means that these two pieces will print out. If I smooth them together, they're not going to smooth as individual objects. They're going to smooth as a single object. But this is an issue right here. Tristan, you see this right here? So this is one of those little holes we were talking about,
Oh yeah.
right? So even though I thought I was good, and I don't know if this one doesn't look like there's holes,
Yeah, that
but
one
I
looks.
always go in and I do that. So let's just say we go to where it wasn't Dynamesh now. So now I backed out a couple times, right? And I go into this menu and I can actually see that hole here. So this is just the checks and the balance. You know what I mean? Checks and balances, basically, you have to do for yourself. So I will take this piece right here and they're one object. So I'm do this move typological brush and I'm going to pull the pink inside. See how it's inside of that green right there? On both sides to make sure that this pink is now interpenetrating the green. So now when I run the Dynamesh on the object, run it again, and if you look at it, when I go to smooth this out, there's no gap in there. No resin's going to get stuck in there. Okay, so this is a watertight mesh, right? And there's one mesh. I'm going to redo that. So now they're both the same color. That means they're the same subject group. That means they're the same object. And if you can look in here really closely, these pieces are all connected with all these little points. So I have to do that to all of these objects today before I can say, Tristan, print this up. 100%, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And you better not come back with this isn't going to work. So, hey, I'm going to get a drink real quick. Maximize your screen so I can step away.
So I pretty much finished with detailing all these scales that I wanted, but a lot of them, since I inflated it, are kind of like intersecting each other, and so like when I go in and I just like put in these final touches, I kind of want it to be on like a smooth surface. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate it, and then I think probably just delete the higher subdivisions on this newer version, and then re-subdivide it, and then I'm going to project all these details on top. And I still have the original one that I just did because I only duplicated it.
I'm back, by the way. Glad to be here.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think there may be a delay because, like, I heard you downstairs talking. Can you hear me?
Well, so I was projecting the details back on, and it takes power, and I was making the stream.
You were lagging.
Wig
So
out
how
for
do
a
you?
second.
Yeah. Tell me, like, hold your hand up when you hear me say three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I didn't say it yet. How are you putting it up? All right.
Sorry.
Put it down. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's like a 3-second delay. You might want to hop out and come back in. Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right. We can do.
Fine.
We can do. It just
Yeah,
won't be a
it'll be
live
fine.
conversation.
Well, I mean, there's every stream has a few second delay. That's not.
It's funny because I hear you downstairs talking in the basement, and then like 3 seconds later, you're back up.
So just smooth some of this out because it wasn't a perfect. The projection wasn't perfect. So I'm going to kind of smooth out some of these areas. Actually, the imperfect projection actually kind of creates some interesting texture that I feel like I can maybe bring back out into something else. Here. Because, like, see how it kind of, like, divides up that little inner arm section there?
Yeah, it's cool.
Just kind of dabbing all these little spots.
So have you thought about maybe, and I don't, I know it's posed, right? But have you thought maybe turning that into just a regular torso? Have you thought about
Yeah,
that yet?
I thought about it. It may be. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be that difficult. I don't think. I just have them kind of like hunched over a little bit, so I'd kind of have to change around some of the proportions a little bit,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't be that difficult.
So something happened with this piece on my end.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is. I know that it appears. It appears that the thing that I made a Dynamesh. Okay. That's what happened. I merged down the copy. Okay, I've teased up. Let's split the groups. Let's see how that works. Split to parts. Yeah, live accidents are never fun.
Yeah. But accidents are how we learn.
Okay. So
I think even showing that on stream a little bit is probably important.
okay, so on my end, I have my second like little jet thruster merged down into. Did I merge that down into that? No. Okay, so I have a jet thruster there. I'm going to take this subdivision off of it, so it'll dynamesh into the other thing. I got to find the thing here, and I got to merge this down, and you're full screen, so I'm talking about nothing.
Sorry.
So again, here's my second little thruster thing in here. I'm looking to see if it's interpenetrating. Okay, and it looks like it's good. One thing that you can try is you can change this to, instead of additive, you can change it to subtraction, and you can turn on live boolean, and you'll actually see how that cuts that out of the object. Except for some reason, oh, they're not. It's got to be above it for the boolean to work. So if it's underneath of it, the live boolean won't work. Right? Is that right, Tristan?
Yeah,
it's got to be above. It's got to be the boolean.
Yeah, the boolean has to be below.
The cutter has to
the
be
object. Yes.
The cutter has to be below the object.
Yes.
So I'm on subtraction. I have boolean clicked on. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So you can see here, this is what's being fused together, right? So in this process, I don't see any artifacts inside there that would create a gap. I see that as like this is a piece of Play-Doh, and then you're pushing in the object to that. So these two pieces should marry up perfect. So rather than create the boolean, I'm just going to redynamesh this. So I'm going to take the thing that's going to be the object, Where's that? And I'm going to merge this down. Hit OK. One or more subtools are partially hidden. I don't know what that means.
It means you have hidden objects in your subtool.
Right, but so it's not that one. So it's probably this one. Oh, it was the whole. it was the whole calf piece.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to separate that. So I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna split that off.
Okay. So now I'm just gonna honestly just go in with the standard brush and bring back some of these things here.
Split hidden. Now these are separate pieces. Now I can merge this down. Hit OK. Boom. So then here we go. And now 15 minutes of struggle, and now I have these two objects watertight. We'll go back to this Dynamesh. Make sure I'm at 1,000 because 1,000 just seems to work. Dynamesh it. Boom. Now I'm going to go in here. You see how all these are fused together? When it's on the figure, it's going to be this big. So you're not going to be able to tell that I've lost any of my crispness or my detail. Now, if I blew it up this big and tried to make a 4-foot thing, it still doesn't even look that bad. So this piece is watertight. So
This
Tristan,
pizza is watertight.
you said pizza?
That's what it sounded like. That's what you said. So I just ran with it. This
Hey.
pizza's watertight.
All right. So now I'm going to shift to this thing. This thing is kind of fused into itself right now. I believe that is interpenetrating, but not too bad. But do you see this right here, Tristan? These two pieces right here, that'll be a void.
Yeah.
So
well, unless you have something like intersecting that, where
Well,
it's like not going to be seen.
I don't know if I am or not. I'm just going to take care of that now because even if it wasn't, so what I'll just do is I'll just pull these two pieces together like that, right? So now this thing looks like it's solid. Now, do you say you inflate that?
What?
See, this is what
Yeah,
I think
I would just like inflate and then redynamesh it because it'll close up that space.
So just come right in here and ooh, don't do that.
As long as you don't care about it like
Looking wonky.
or well not just like destroying the topology.
No, I'm Dynameshing everything. This is Dynamesh.
Okay. Then yeah.
So let's run the Dynamesh on it. Make sure we're watertight. And the other thing is, after I do all this, we come through with oh no. I have to split that. Split hidden. That's its own object. Now I can Dynamesh it.
That's kind of like fine.
All right, so then you can see these pieces right here. These are all one solid object. There's no holes in it. Now let's say that there was a hole in there, Tristan, and you did this trick the other day. When you flip the normals and check for the void, like I know there shouldn't be one. Can you just talk me through that real quick?
So yeah, if trying to think of where that is again.
Muscle memory takes you there on.
Yeah, display properties. If you go to display properties in your subtool menu, it's in the subtool menu. Or the tool menu. Yeah, you go down to display properties.
Okay.
All right, there should be a flip button, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That inverts the topology, and
if there's a thing, if
pretty
there's
much
a thing
just see if like if there's a cavity in there, it'll stick out. Like it'll poke out.
And how'd
Or
you get
if
rid of
there's
that? How'd you get rid of that the last time? Then you can select that cavity somehow.
so you could do that a couple of ways. You could just like go into the you could just like smooth it out completely with
Sculptures Pro.
Sculptures Pro, or you can select that. But if you select it, you have to realize that it's going to select everything on the outside. So then you have to go in and deselect all of those things on the outside, and then you could just delete that little bit.
So it's separate though. So if I do polygroup,
Or
then it would make its own
actually,
polygroup.
you know what is a better way to do that? Like if you have like a little cavity in there, and you just mask that out, and then create a polygroup through that mask, then you can hide that polygroup and then just delete it.
Split and delete. Yeah.
And then close holes. You want to make sure that you close the hole on that.
Okay.
But what flipping the topology will also do is it will also show you if there are any like closed off cavities in there. So it's like where like when you flip it, it will show if you have intersecting geometry and like you dynameshed it or you merged those parts by say like merge by union. Sometimes you'll get a little pocket that is completely closed off, but it's still there, right, of geometry. And if you sometimes like again, like if they're closed off, you can just like split or like auto group, like auto polygroup.
Yeah.
And it will make those sections a separate polygroup because you inverted the geometry and basically turned those pockets into solid geometry.
Right.
And then once you do that, you can hide those polygroups and delete them, just like anything else. And then reflip your geometry back.
My brain's hurting right now from that explanation. I get what you're saying.
Sorry.
We'd have to walk through it a few times.
Okay.
But I get you. I get what you're saying. So
I'll try to recreate that sometime.
Yeah, no, I'm sure I'll run into it eventually here. All right, that's why I'm glad you still live here. You know what I mean? Like, I got a ZBrush Pro in my basement.
It doesn't help that I'm not like the best at explaining things.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's that we're only like honestly, this is why we have to do this on Saturdays. It's the only day that we're both here for the most part and can squeeze out 3 hours together because our shifts are different.
Yeah.
And if we don't do this together, then me and you, we're just working separately. Just kind of grab 10 minutes here or there to ask a question. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's good that on stream, like we run into these things. So again, here's now 2 parts of the mesh. These should all be watertight. I'm going to do the thing that Tristan told me to do before, which was go to display properties and flip this again. And then I'm still just checking in here to see if there's any pockets. And this looks super weird, but I'm gonna flip it again. Like sometimes, like I'll think I see something that doesn't make sense, but it does. I don't know. Like
yeah, like those little spots, like the one on the left there, where it's just like it's kind of just like
no. This is what's wrong. It was a different subtool that was duplicated.
Oh.
So hold on.
Well, but those little areas that I just pointed out.
Yeah. Okay.
That like thin little like chunk of geometry that you can kind of see just like deep in there.
Yeah.
Like that one's like borderline. Like you could probably leave that and it'd be fine.
This right here.
Yeah.
That little chunk.
Yeah. That right there.
Yeah.
You could probably leave that and it'd be fine. But
if I just go in with with Sculptures Pro now, right? That's what you're
Well,
saying.
no, honestly, if you just mask that and then create a poly group based off of the mask, you can just delete that as long as you don't get anything else in the selection there.
Oof. All right, so this is kind of what we're talking about, right? This is walking through what you
Yeah.
said to do, right?
Yeah. And then
So
if you just create a poly group off
now
of
what?
that,
So I
and
go
then
to a BPR. All right, so this little, but then I have one on this side too, right?
yeah, you can just do the same thing. Honestly, if you just make your brush bigger and then just like paint over that little spot, the mask will eventually cover like the whole thing. You just
So
make it,
you mean this one right here as well?
yeah. So just create like a little thing. It'll
Yeah.
cover the whole thing.
All
You
right.
don't
So
gotta worry about getting it perfect.
okay. So here's the thing, right? So then you're saying go to you're going to masking or poly group,
Polygroup, and then
from mask
polygroup from mask. Yep.
po- from masking.
Yep.
So then if I click here to look at the poly groups, it changed into a green, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now what?
Well, unselect the mask.
All right.
Okay. Now, if you hide those, hide them. Yeah. You gotta drag it. You gotta.
Invert it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then delete.
Split and delete.
Or split or delete hidden.
Is there a delete hidden button?
Yeah.
Where? Because I just split and then I hit split. Yeah, you get
Yeah,
you still do that.
it's in modify topology. So in your geometry tab, it's in modify geometry and
Delete
then
hidden.
split hidden. Or yeah, delete hidden.
You know, I've looked at that button for 10 years and I've never clicked it.
Right. Well, while you're here, while you're in the
Close
geometry
holes.
tab, just hit close holes.
Close holes.
There you go. Now those cavities are gone.
Look at that. Look at that.
But make sure to invert your geometry back to normal. That can be.
So is that pretty much what you just told me to do? I mean, we
Yeah.
pretty much did it on the fly.
Yeah.
And now I got a new skill.
Yeah.
I have a new set of skills.
But you got to be careful sometimes with the invert geometry.
And that is right here because I can see it. That's where it was.
Yeah.
Because it's.
But just real quick, again, you want to be careful with the invert geometry because I ran into this problem myself and I learned the hard way that if you have like double-sided geometry on and you flipped your geometry, or if you have
I can tell you right now I never double side my geometry, so
I do sometimes if I'm messing with like if say like I'm making a cape or something and I just want to work with like single-sided geometry for a while. I'll turn on double-sided geometry just to kind of give me an idea on both sides, like where, like how it's going to look.
I got a question. I'll go ahead.
But again, you want to be careful with that because if you have double-sided geometry on and you invert the mesh, it's going to look the same as if you hadn't inverted it. Like no matter what, it's just going to look the same. So like that's just really just kind of what I want to say is like you need to be careful. If you are going to use double-sided geometry and you're going to invert the mesh, you want to make sure that you invert it back so that's not so that like when you go to print, it's not going to be weird.
All right. So one thing that I'm seeing here, you see how this is flickering, right? And I know you know what this is. It's flickering when I move it. This piston, right? It's flickering because I have two pistons on top of each other. So
Yeah.
somewhere in my process, when I was merging these down, I merged the copy into the other piece. So I have to go in here to
Well, if you have it as a different poly group, then you can just select
yeah,
one and
yeah,
delete it.
yeah. So I'm gonna select this poly group and I'm going to split because I don't want to delete it because I might be deleting the wrong thing. But that looks like it's still good. So I'm gonna take this now and delete. Boom. And then see what else is flashing. So then this one's flashing. I'm going to split hidden, delete. See, my thing is split hidden and delete. I didn't even know I could go. I could go to do that. Hit that button. So yeah,
Thank you.
I learned like two things today. So um, this is where Tristan, where you're telling me I have all kinds of issues because like in this piston, right? There's holes behind the piston back here
Mm-hmm.
and the mesh in here.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so
even
that's
when you had that that plate like behind the calf and whatnot,
yeah,
that created a huge cavity. I mean,
right.
it was probably big enough to where like not a lot of resin would get trapped back there, but I think it was deep enough to where at least a little bit would.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we're just not gonna know until we print it out and we see if it starts gooping. You know what I mean?
Also, like painting that area, you wouldn't be able to paint it, and like, I mean, yeah, it would just be in the back, but I feel like you would still get some gray in there.
Yeah, I think what I want to do
Noticeable
with
gray.
this is um split hidden. Is I want to take the biggest chunks I can get that I know will be easily watertight. You know what I mean? Like these
Yeah.
two pieces right here. So like I want to take this, and again, I'm trying to figure out if I like this blockiness or not. I probably don't like this. This thing's probably too blocky. The thing that I would do, the thing that I would do with this, I would probably throw a dyna. No, I'm gonna do a dynamic subdivision and just see. Oh, it gave me a warning. What did it say? Mesh contains just two edges that are not shared by more than two polygons. All right. So what does that mean, Tristan?
Um.
It did it. It did the Dynamesh. Or
Yeah,
it
I
did
don't
the
know.
dynamic
Sometimes it
subdivision.
gives you errors that it'll just like ignore and just do it anyway. But
And sometimes not so much.
I think sometimes in that particular case, I feel like it's talking about um either like poles or um maybe engons. I don't
So
know.
this is an example of something that I don't really need to crease. I can take care of that in this dynamic subdivision with the subdivision flat surfaces because I don't want it to be spread out and smooth. That looks soft, right? And hard surface is supposed to be hard, right? Hence the name. So you need to bump up your flat subdivisions, but if you bump it up too much, then it's still just square. So there's a medium line in there that it'll still give you a hard surfacey look. Um, that's acceptable, rather than going through increasing every 100 pieces, that by hand like I did with that other little thing. So it's just do I feel like this is all right? I feel like this is all right. I feel like that still is reading hard surface.
Yeah, it looks
So
good to me.
so from here, um,
Plus, you got to think like when it's printed, like even if it looks a little soft, like it's probably gonna look fine.
so I'm gonna also hit it with Dynamesh right now. So
It
here's
doesn't have to
this
be like
piece.
razor sharp.
Yeah, well, it's good. I feel it's a little wiggly for some reason. I don't know if
Like
that's something I do.
even with these scales, like I'm not even using the pinch or the Damien standard. I'm just using the standard
Yeah,
brush.
but scales are organic and machine is machine, so
Scales are a bit more you know
hard. Yeah,
hard surface and
but they're not organic. But they're still organic. Is what I'm saying.
but yeah. But even with like some hard surface stuff, like I'll use the standard brush for some things.
All right, so here's this thing. Now part of the calf. And I'm going to cross my fingers and hit the Dynamesh button. And I'm going to hold control and drag, and it says it's closing holes. And what the heck just happened here? Is it on subtract? It's on subtraction. I just Dynameshed it after I merged it down. It's so finicky. Sometimes that works correctly for me, and most of the time it doesn't. Yeah, it's still on subtract mode. Even though I turned it off just now. It's on addition.
Did you turn it on subtract and then undo it?
Like currently, if I click on okay. Okay. I know
Yeah.
what I know what I gotta do.
Okay.
It was on subtract when I merged it down, so it's not coming off of subtract. It's still stuck in this model as a subtract mode. So I have to separate this piece again from the model, but it's an undoable operation, even though it's not really undoable. We can still get around that. Whenever you merge two subtools together, it pops up and says this is an undoable operation. So like before when I did that, I'm like, oh, there's no way to get back from that. You know what I mean? Once I merge them together, there's no way. But all you gotta do is you gotta auto group it, right? So it's a different poly group. Then you can select it, and then you can split that. And so now there are two objects again. So I just undid it. Now I'm going to go back to here, and the Boolean process is addition. So now when I merge down, boom, these are merged objects. And hopefully now it will do what I want to do. Boom. See what it did there? So like that's something that has thrown me for a loop so many times because I have it on subtraction, I merge it down, I do the Dynamesh versus, remesh by union or whatever it was.
Right.
So here we are again. Siri just come up. I'm not talking to you.
She pops up every once in a while.
Because I click something and it like flashed. So
if you click your power button, she'll pop up too.
Where's the power button?
Like if you hold your power button, she'll pop up.
Yep. I'll flip it. So I don't see any pockets in this one. It's looking pretty good. I would say Tristan is approving this one. So
yeah,
even though he didn't approve, I know what he would approve.
He knows me.
All right. So then there's that piece. So all this to build up stupid little mechanical things inside of a calf that pretty much nobody's going to pay attention to or see because A, it's on the back of the figure, and B,
it would still be catastrophic if it leaked resin. Even if you don't see it,
yeah,
still suck if it leaks resin. You definitely notice it then. You don't want that.
You know what else I could have done for this? It's too late now. It's fine. If I ever just get a hankering to do this piece that we did all that creasing to, I still like the original machine look better, even with the faceting. I could have just separated that model there, and then, like, I'll show you this model right here. I could have just went through and separated it here and here, kept that hard, and then smoothed it out, basically, or separated it, smoothed that out, and combined them back together. That would give me the hard at the bottom that I like, and then it would smooth the faceting on the top.
Yeah.
So, too little, too late. But I should keep that in my memory banks for the next project or the next part of this project. when I want to do the same thing.
We've already been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Just about.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you want to go for today.
I mean, I'm going to be doing this for a while, so whether we're streaming it or not, still going to be doing it. I mean, are you going to work on something else here soon, or you got something else?
I mean,
I got to clean off a print, but that can wait.
I'm gonna be buttoning this up for a little while, but so, I mean, I'm good
just
for
hanging
as
out.
long as
Maybe
you want to go.
maybe somebody will hop in if we're on for like all day.
Wow.
Somebody? Anybody? No. Anyway,
I did tell a friend that I would talk and hang out with him today later.
All right, that's fine.
When we weren't streaming.
All right. Okay, so those pieces are good, I guess. So I think like I'm kind of trying to treat this calf piece like a real thing, a real functional thing, and not just take,
I
fake it.
fall into that a lot myself. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'll fall into that too, where it's just like you're making something and like like how it's like supposed to like function, how it's supposed to work, and then you're just like you want to make it do that thing, but then you realize that like it's just gonna be not that. So
Yeah.
At a certain point, you gotta just like
fake it.
Fake it, yeah.
All right. So this is what I'm doing. But I mean, if we were making it to, if we were making it, and we could, to be actually printed an actual function, whatever that function would be, if this was a real cylinder, you would have to redesign and spend a lot more time on it. But we're just trying to get toy parts together. So this is what I did here, Tristan. So I took the cylinder, right? It's no longer a cylinder. It's a pill shape or whatever. And then I have to take it this way, and then I got to pull the sides out. So my hope is that by doing this, it still reads as a cylinder from the front, like so. Close enough, right? If you can look at it. It's flared out here at the ends a little bit, but it's penetrating everything. So this is where did I split that off? I'm gonna split hidden. Put that up at the top. All right. So now that this is its own piece that plugs into this calf, I can change it to subtraction and see if it'll actually cut into the model. And I can preview whether or not I'm going to have interpenetrating whatnots. So this side looks good. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, that's going to... Okay, so as you can see here, Tristan, like, do you think this is going to be a pocket in here?
Let me see it up close again.
This little thing right there.
Nah, that'd be fine.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
But you see how this shape is cutting in all the way around and all the way up in here. Like that's what we're looking for, right? To make sure there's no pockets. So when that basically melts together, there won't be any gaps inside of it.
Some things also, it's like some things can be so small that like
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really won't matter, and like even if there is like a slight pocket in there, like it's just gonna get closed up.
And then the other thing,
I think so, because with the detail on these new printers, I guess you don't really.
All right. So
for sure.
So I'm turning this right here into a Dynamesh. What I did here is I made it smooth, so it's a cylinder. At this point in time, again, I don't know how much of this you're going to see. I wanted to put a flap over top of that, so I would like to detail that out. Like this kind of looks a little simple currently, but at this point in the game, Like if I had another 3 weeks to work on it, I'd try to tech it out ridiculous, you know. But
Yeah.
this late in the game, you just got to get the project finished. So that's one of the
So,
sacrifices. That's one of the sacrifices that's gonna get axed. So just got to make sure that both of these are on additive before I merge it down. This is on additive. All right, now I'm going to do the merge down. Okay. And then we're going to dynamesh it. Dynamesh. I'm going to undynamesh it. I don't like the resolution it was giving me there. So I'm going to kick it up to 2000 and see where we're at. See, when you kick it up to 2000, your mesh will end up being like 2000 or 2 million polygons, but it'll be a lot more crisp. You can see where these lines intersect and stuff like that. So we can always take it down later. If it gets too chunky, then the program will freeze or it won't reopen, which tends to be my issue most of the time. But just gonna go through this leg and click the next one. What do you got? What do you got going on? I've been talking a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just going in and I'm just detailing out these, or just bringing back out some of the detail in these scales that got kind of, I won't say lost, but just a bit softer when I remet, or when I projected the detail back in. The only reason I did that was because I had some like intersecting geometry and some like kind of blown out geometry that I wanted to kind of get rid of, so that like overinflated geometry that, like, if I wanted to go in and like put in some like rough detail in the scales, that it would not um, interact well with. So I'm just kind of going back in. I'm not doing it with like every scale. Like I'm probably not even gonna like touch this back here, or like the back of the arm here, just because like that's gonna be covered by the wings. So
Gotcha.
kind of going in, doing it with like these scales that are actually gonna be seen.
Right.
Then I'll probably raise the geometry or the subdivision level up one more, and then like go in with like a texture brush and just rough in some little rough textures on the scales, so that when it prints out, you'll have some of that.
Gotcha. All right, so here we are. Gonna split this.
Don't even really need to touch these that much. Just like over here a bit more.
Your computer trips me out. Yeah. Doom, 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 doom. All right, so this little, I guess lower shin piece right here, right? Again, if I go here and I divide this a couple, it's masked. If I go and divide this a couple times, it gives me a completely different looking robot piece, right? I don't like that. I'm losing my creases. So I'm going to go back into this, the same thing I did before, which was go back into dynamic subdivision, open that up, and I'm going to try to make it flat subdivision like this. So that's kind of more smooth, right? And I didn't have to go in and do all that creasing and stuff like that. So I'm going to call that good. So I'm going to accept. I'm gonna accept it. I'm gonna change apply it. Sorry, I'm gonna apply that dynamesh to this object. We're gonna solo that. We're gonna look to see how many polygons that is. That's doable. Just the same process, just over and over. Just double checking and triple checking. This is something that you just can't get around if you want your pieces to be um, this complex, right? One, I mean, there's so many pieces, Tristan. We've only had like face, you have eyeballs, teeth, and hair, right? That's
Yeah.
just three subtools that you have to figure out four total. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Versus this mechanical mess.
Well,
But
but
yeah,
I mean, even like what I'm doing can get complex sometimes, especially if like you have to like duplicate meshes and like reproject and redetail some things. It's like I've gotten lost in certain things before. If like I had a piece that I had to duplicate, but then didn't delete the duplicate, you know.
right, right. One thing that I don't know if I've measured, and I just realized that I'm doing all this stuff, and I don't know if the ogre scale, because this is going to be ogre scale. I don't know if the ogre scale peg, what the diameter of that is currently.
That is something that you probably have to figure out.
Which we're going to do live on stream right now because I got one sitting right here. So the ogre scale peg is widthwise pretty much 8 millimeters on the width, but the little nubby at the top is, I guess, 8.1. So 8.2. We're dealing with tolerances that are like super close. This one's probably closer to like 7.9. No, it's 8. Yeah, it is 7.9 right there. Okay. So there's that one. So I should write that down now because I'll forget it. Without a pencil up here. Found one. Hopefully I can get to it without knocking my whole setup over. Okay, so it's 7.9 width on the bottom. 8.1. We'll do 8.2 because it's got to be wider. Width on the nub. And its length from here to here.
I'll do it to this leg and then probably call it good on that.
It's 10.3. 10.3. Okay, so I guess I should try to measure this to make sure it's what I want it to be. I feel like this should be the right size because I pulled this in. You know, scales can change. I think originally I modeled this to the ogre body that you scanned.
Yeah.
But this this piece could be bigger. Let's see here. Let's kind of scale it. Just no, not that piece. Just for the heck of it. And that's not centered now.
Actually, I'm probably going to want to do this to the other hand too. And the other foot. You know, we've been talking a lot about like lately about like making videos and making paint videos as opposed to like sculpting videos. Like one reason I feel like I like me specifically making a sculpting video probably wouldn't be the best is because I jump around so much in my sculpt.
Yeah.
Like I don't just like spend a whole day in one area. I'll jump around like 5 or 6 different areas in like one session.
Right. Okay, so here I scaled this piece up
That one's probably good, honestly.
a lot, width wise. So it's actually cutting in here to these pieces right here, which I think is pretty good. It's not cutting anything out. It's not running into anything. So I think I'll call this good. And we'll just make that one solid piece.
All right.
Did I accept that? Do I have subdivision? So I'm going to delete the lower subdivisions. Boom. I'm going to merge these together. Merge down. Click. Subdivide it. Dynamish it. So now if we look in here, this one's watertight. Good to go. Slowly but surely it's coming along. These are the bigger pieces, so the bigger pieces should be easier, right?
Yep.
It's when we get into these tubes. So these tubes, I'll address the tube, I guess, now. No, I won't. I'm going to do this piece right here because this seems like it'd be an easy piece to figure out. So here's a situation here, Tristan, where you say resin might get trapped. So this cylinder right here, if I zoom in underneath of it, there's gaps in between where it connects to the model. I don't think resin's going to get caught in those gaps per se.
Yeah. Well, in those gaps, like right in the crevice there, maybe, but I feel like maybe you could get away with it.
What I'm saying is, there's not a pot. I don't think there's going to be a pocket in there, like a resin pocket. So
yeah,
like, even if I scale this up,
I could agree with that.
see, my feel is I don't care if resin gets, because you can wash that out and put paint in there. It's whatever. It's just I'm trying not to make pockets. So when you were telling me resin's getting trapped, that in my mind is like it's in the pocket. You know what I mean? But as long as there's space around it for liquid to flow, that isopropyl should seep in there, and it shouldn't hold any resin. This is just a weird thing here. I think what I'll end up doing is I'm gonna cut a I can't do that. This is where I'm just thinking. Talk about your thing. Talk about your thing.
Well,
hey, wait, hey, let's not talk about sculpting. What are you watching? What is a good thing on your media that you ingest?
To be honest with you, I don't really watch that much lately. Whatever I do watch, I usually watch with Zarya. And I mean, lately that's been just like things on YouTube. We'll watch a bit of anime. You know, we got some animes that we're into right now. I don't know how many people in the call or the community watch anime, but
A few.
you know, just like on that topic, the creator of Full Metal Alchemist, and you know, Full Metal Alchemist is my favorite anime of all time. They have a new anime coming out. Not a Full Metal Alchemist anime, but like their new series that they've been doing for a while.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited for that.
I heard one of the major video game guys died. Dude that did like Ninja Gaiden, the one we played that was like impossible on hard.
Did he?
Yeah, I don't know. He's made a couple other video games. I've seen that on the internet that he died. Um, I mean, I didn't know who he was, but I appreciated his work.
It's I didn't know who you were, but I appreciated your work.
All right, I have to figure this. I have to figure this out. So if you look at my screen, Tristan, I got the side of this thing here, and I feel like I'm going to get some interpenetrating pockets right in here on this thing.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you probably will.
But other than that, it's not touching. My question is, should I make it touch here for support? Should I move it back and kind of make the cylinder interpenetrate for stability? You see what I'm doing here? Like this? Or will that cause more havoc? Because I feel like it's not going to make any pockets there, and it'll give it a support there. But I'll still have this thing beneath of it. Or do I just hold on? I think I grab this piece right here and I build that up where rather than inflate it once I've merged them together, just kind of go in here because you're not going to see this. This is where the two pieces touch. So I'll just build this up right here where they're going to connect so they won't have a pocket right there. And then I'll just smooth that out. And it's just like a quick and dirty.
Yeah.
Where's that at? Sorry, this one.
Mm.
Sometimes you just gotta struggle till you find it, you know. Split mass points. Yeah, see, it's so I don't like that. Maybe I did too much. I think I just need it like right here to be bigger to connect, like so. I really have been using clay brush completely different than how you used to use it, and like it's serving a lot of goodness to me.
That's good.
So
Check something real quick.
all right, so that one should be connected there. Um,
We're good.
so this is one of those things. This is one of those things, Tristan. Like you're not going to see this stuff in here, back in here, right? So like I'm just going to go in and just kind of make this a solid mass
Yeah,
because
I mean
you're not going to see it,
that's
and
what I do.
it's just going to cause major issues with interpenetration. I know
Yeah.
you're not going to see it up to this point right here that I sculpted is what you'll see from the front. So anything beyond this can just be a solid mass. So all these little cracks in here, you're not going to see these. So this way I can get the inner stuff working.
That makes it much easier on me. I'm going to support them.
This is so tedious coming into this crack right here. I think this is a Sculptures Pro moment. Sure was.
If there ever was one.
Hey, this sure is a Sculptures, and it does make this crash sometimes, but that just eliminated all my issues.
Yeah, and there are times where, especially if you're working on a Dynamesh
Because you can just
piece.
redynamesh it. Yeah, you just redynamesh it.
Well, sometimes if you're working on a Dynamesh piece and you try to use Sculptris Pro, it'll like really chunk up the system. Like at least in my experience, like it does that on my computer all the time. Like if I try to do that, it'll like really chunk up the system.
Yeah.
Just because it's processing a lot.
All right, I'm gonna go off screen for a minute. I'll be right back. Let me Dynamesh this before the Sculptris Pro makes a crash, and I will save this as well because I haven't saved yet. Hey, you saved yet? Do you have auto saves?
Yeah, I do have auto saves, but I'm still gonna save.
This pen, when I go to save it and I go to hit enter or whatever, I accidentally click on the bar and it gives me issues. Gives me issues. All right. So where my 42%.
All right, and then I'll probably
You can go solo. You can go solo. Oh, I didn't even realize that I had this light on my screen this whole entire time. That probably looks a lot better.
So yeah, I just finished up with detailing all that out. I think last thing I'm gonna do, well, not the last thing, I still want to make these horns. I'm probably gonna do those pretty quickly, honestly, or the antennas. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna do both and see how I like them. But before I do that, I am going to finish detailing out these wings. Not backface. I want to do these symmetrically. So I wasn't 100% sure how I wanted to do this. Maybe I just do it by just moving some stuff out instead of like trying to build like large forms. Because like I really kind of have my forms the way that I want them for the most part. We're going with this guy. Turn on Aki curve. And then just create hard lines where these are going to deform or where they're going to bend. Sorry, not deform. I don't really need to do that to that side. Oh, shoot, that kind of created a weird thing then. That's not that bad. I could just smooth that out. But then again, like on the inside here, like I could go in and like build this out just slightly. Because I kind of built in some musculature in there. But you don't really see that on this side, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think over here, maybe I'll just create some creases. Some like stretch creases to show that like this is like where it like stretches a lot or curves a lot on the body. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Stuff like that. Kind of come in here and just
Make them bony.
not really making them like bony as much as I am just like making them like, I don't know, slightly more fleshed out.
Less tune like, tube
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I mean, all wings have bones in them. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have
Yeah.
knobs at the top. I mean, you got
Well,
that there.
I kind of did something kind of like that over here a little bit. Oh shoot! I didn't even realize what it was doing up here. But again, a lot of that's gonna be covered by the hair anyway. Except for that.
So I started that print at like 11. What time is it now?
It's like 2:20. Is it gonna be done soon?
I said I had 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the process that I'm in right now that you can't rush through. There's no way to rush it. Like you just
Yeah,
gotta slow roll it.
you really can't. Um, Even with like the stuff that I'm doing, like I'm trying to finish up, but like at the same time, there's still just little bits that you can't really rush through. And maybe I'll make these more pointed at the ends.
You know, a new project that I'm gonna want to try.
Huh?
I'm gonna want to try a throne of some sort,
Throne.
like an immortal throne.
I've been thinking about that for a while, actually. Like, cause like I kind of want to get like somewhat of like I don't know if I'd say like diorama setup like made at some point, but like I don't know, just like a little set piece that we can like consistently display a lot of our stuff on.
I
That's
mean,
like,
if you look at the things that we've printed, right, in sections, right, your big
mm-hmm,
alien sculpture head, that's a big piece. It's hollow, but it's big. We can make something hollow to the point. Maybe after Legion's Con, that'll be the next thing. We'll get it like a throne or like a fountain or something together. I don't want to step in any fountain people's stuff, but it would be cool actually. And this is a thing that I've thought about as far as collaboration. Like I've talked with Brian Lynn, I've talked with Alexander the Shaw about
mm-hmm.
like things I'd like to see them make or whatever. It'd be fun if we could partner up with some community people. Maybe next year, we do that a little bit because I've wanted to partner up with Tanya. We've done like some I partnered with Perry, right, for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
projects. So it's just like maybe do a little bit more of that so we can kind of play with the other kids in the
Yeah.
community a little bit more. We're
Well,
obviously
and
partnering. We're obviously partnering with Dirk with the new Wolf King. So
yeah. Well, I think that that's something that like we probably should have been doing for a while now.
yeah.
Um, but, better late than ever, I guess.
Well, we're
They
just
say.
talking. We're just talking through stuff. But yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, you've partnered with Jeremy and made some cool things.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, we make cool things, but it's not always just about making cool things for yourself. Sometimes it's about building friendships, building networks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see how this thing's fitting now. That's touching. That's not touching. I have a hole there. The left side of my you're on full screen. The left side of my thing looks like it's good. The right side still needs a little bit of a little TLC. Boom, boom, boom. Tristan brings the boom. So my full frontal purple's on with Jordan and Van. I'm debating whether I watch it or not. Sometimes I want to always go back and see if like I feel like I cut the hosts off, and then I feel like I gotta apologize for it a lot of times, and it's just like I want to
Mm,
see well how I behave on streams with people without cutting them
It's
off.
just conversations, you know.
Yeah. But I also hear people talk about quit stepping on the hosts kind of deal. So I
Oh
was
yeah,
watching.
is
Yeah,
that like a big thing that people say?
no,
People talk
not
about.
not particularly in the Legions community, but like yeah, like I've seen YouTubers be like, "You're stepping all over the host. It's my show. You're my guest."
Okay, yeah.
But then again, some people are like, "You're the guest. The floor is yours." You know what I mean? Like, tell us about yourself.
Right.
So okay, so it told me that my undue memory history is struggling. So we're gonna go off of Sculptress Pro. We're gonna do off of Sculptress Pro. Drop that down a little bit from two 2000 resolution. Yeah, but I had fun with Van and John or John, Van and Jordan for sure. It was hard to get there because all the different routes that I've been taking. Just really,
Yeah.
when I started, like the first 2 years, and this is a testament, right? The first 2 years of Legion's Con, we both had way more time.
Oh yeah.
So like I wasn't doing the extra loads for the holidays, and we tried to make the money at Legion's Con. And the last 2 years, I'm like, well, I'll just do the extra loads. So if we don't sell anything at Legion's Con, it's no biggie. You know what I mean?
Right. We're
But
not out
now
anything.
it's just like trying to find time with the extra loads to even get anything done.
And yeah, not to mention, how much I'm working these days.
Right.
Like, yeah, I've been telling you and I've been telling mom, it's like I've been kicking myself because it's like I don't have that time that I used to have anymore. And
No, I was pressing on that when you had it, as hard as I could, but you don't know what you got till it's gone.
for sure. But I mean, it's like I wasn't in the same place I was then, and like I only got there, you know,
Recently. Yeah.
recently after I started the job, and the job was kind of a product of that. And yeah, it's like it's a give and take. It just it sucks because now it's like I wish I could be doing it all the time.
Yeah, well, things change overnight sometimes, so just make awesome things and hopefully something will come from it.
Yep.
All right, so I think I figured this out. I think this should be a subtractive mesh, and we will have no problems with this one. It took me a little bit to figure this one out. Uh, cutter needs to be below. Okay. Uh, yeah, it's looking good.
Honestly, I wasn't even going to put in as much as I'm currently putting into this today. I was just gonna call it done after I like finished up the hair and
Yeah.
whatnot. But the fact that we're like on stream and like we're doing this, and you were like, he's like, well, "What are you gonna work on?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I'm working on this, so I guess I'll just work on buttoning this up a little bit more." Is like it allowed me to put in that extra time that I wanted to put into it.
Yeah, well, this is your last sculpting project, so good for you. Good for you. And then just get on to painting. I wish I could get on to painting, but like I got so many projects to finish here. Like I think maybe even me coming over to do this leg today might be a not the right thing to do at this point in time. But since I'm the one generally telling you what to do and what order to do things, like no, I don't got nobody. You did tell me like, yeah, work on your female heads. My female heads are pretty much good, but again, with that, it's just kind of finalizing them a little bit. This is
Right.
kind of this is kind of something that if I'm going to sit here and talk about it with you, like it's what I want to get done. You know what I mean? Like this is the project. The funny thing
Yeah.
is that I looked at the legs you did, I looked at Lee's legs, and then I looked at the Ox Crew wave legs that came in and they're very similar. But of course, robot legs are robot legs. But like,
Right.
I hate it when like I don't look at something and then I look at it and it's like, oh, it's kind of the same thing.
Kind of what I just did. Yeah. No, I get that. you know, um, I've had cases where it's like, um, I went to the game shop one day and I was looking for like paints and stuff. And honestly, I might do that today. Like I might go see if I can get my hands on some paints that I don't already have. Um.
We need some more of that strong tone if that's at the games shop.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
That's my go-to for Legion's Con season.
I mean, it's good paint. Um. But I was like looking at the different paints, and I saw like one of those like packs where like they have like the packs of paint that you can get, or like the sets.
Yeah.
And one of them I saw had like a painted vampire on it. Now it was bigger. It was like bigger in scale, I think, or honestly, it might have been like mini scale. But like it was just a bit different. Like some of the details were a bit bigger, but it looked just like the first vampire head that I did. And I
Oh,
was
oh
like,
yeah. You showed me that. Yeah.
and I was like thinking to myself, I was like, did somebody see that and like just like copy that? Or
No,
like,
we've talked about this nauseum. Like, there's a reason why AI can copy everything, and pretend it's making new things because everything's been done. But
but
yeah, I
it's like
totally.
at the same time, it's like, I could see that and think like, oh, did somebody copy that? Or did somebody just have like a similar idea that I did?
I think the similar. This is going in some new age weirdness, but we can go there. I think the ideas are always floating around out there, and that whether it's people call it the muse or universal consciousness or God letting you into some information. It's like people talk about the ideas are out there. You just got to grab them and force them into existence first. So
Yeah.
it's like when I was doing uh the Oni faces, right? We were doing this whole face plate changing system. And then literally I was so close to buttoning it up and somebody did it right before me. And
Like the exact thing that
the
you were
exact
doing.
thing I was doing, right? And even using magnets. And I thought about using magnets, you know what I mean? And there's so many things out there that's like there's only so many noses you can put on a vampire, right? It's either a bat
Mhm.
nose or a human nose. There's only so
Yeah.
many ways you can design an orc face because eventually people start looking like people. We always joke that, this person looks like that person or all these people look like other people when I'm sculpting them, right? Like, oh, that looks
Hmm.
like this person. That looks like that's because there's only so many different variations you can do on a thing. And with a vampire, it's like super. It's just a regular person with either a bat look nose or a forehead frowning frow is frow.
Right, but it was like even to like the point of like the size of his forehead, and like I made his forehead like pretty big,
Yeah,
gave
yeah.
him like the
You know,
receding hairline and everything, and I was like,
that
that's
sculpt is
spectacular.
my favorite paint job I've put on a head. I have on that sculpt. It
Really?
was it was the first time I put um shading and blush on a head, and the fact that it was a vampire, yeah, it's just like one of my smoothest paint jobs. It's one of my favorite paint jobs I've done. And then like I always bring it to the cons, and then I never put it on the table. Or I've put it on a table and it survived the con. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
It's like you don't want it to go.
Yeah,
You still have it?
it's floating around in a bin. I found it the other day.
That's crazy.
But the other one right here, Tristan.
Huh.
This is my second favorite head that I've ever done,
Oh
and
yeah, the like
all the
the
other ones, the Beast Man, all the other ones sold. So I did like three different versions of it, and
mm,
this head has survived, and I'm not taking it. I take it to the con, but like we said, oh yeah, those aren't for sale. Oh yeah, those are not. Like I don't want to get. I know I could do it again. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, you could do it again, but at the same time, like that one turned out so good
Yeah.
that it's like you don't want to get rid of it because it's like what if you can't replicate it?
Well, I definitely. I think I would have to replicate it before, kind of like because Jeremy uh, had this Princess of the Frogs custom that Curtis was trying to buy, and he wouldn't sell it to him. But Jeremy made a second one of it for him, and
Oh,
and,
nice.
and gave him the second one. Right. Well,
Uh,
maybe if I paint that head again, I would, you know, bring it back. But like last year, I didn't want to sell anything. I didn't want to sell my, and then my. Well, actually. I will say that my favorite head to date has got to be my clown head because I really put good eyes on that one,
mm-hmm.
and I really just it completely came out like it was supposed to be in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I will say there's like three or four different ones. I can't find the clown head, but yeah, the clown head's definitely one that like just technically the thing I pulled off is exactly what I wanted it to be. Sometimes the eyes are too thick and we just go back and forth with trying to do the eyes the different ways. Um, but yeah, definitely don't like to get rid of my stuff. Like there he is. There's the clown. Yeah, let me turn the eyes. And with your hands turned out perfect on that clown. Like, hey, look at these. Maximize my screen if you would.
It's kind of blurry. There he
Not
is.
better now, right? Look at them
Yeah.
eyes, man. Them eyes are like my best eyes.
Yeah.
But like just the fade I have on this. Now the tips of this, I don't know if I even cleared this guy. Have gotten rubbed off, but the dirtiness and like just how yeah, those eyes are just I am very happy, obviously. I keep talking about it. But that was like my one custom I wanted to have last year was that. And it's you know I don't know if I'm gonna have one painted this year. With these leg parts, the worst that can happen is I get them printed out and I hit them all black and I make it a Darth Vader looking guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Black
Yeah.
on black, and maybe do some dry brushing around it. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I'm gonna try to button the calf. I was gonna do the torso today, but like right before the stream happened, I started freaking out. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
You just forgot about it.
And I said, well, I guess we're doing a leg. I didn't know if I was going to pull up the girl heads or what. We'll probably go just a little bit longer. It says hedgehogs going to be on. So,
Oh, is he? Okay.
yeah. Split mass pose. I mean, obviously, I'm going to still be working up here, but our time of chit chatting will be coming to a close.
Coming to a close.
This is another thing right here. It's like this is just you know a mess of parts that are intersecting. I didn't even bother to try to cut this. Maybe I did. I don't know. Let's see. There's different. Ooh, I got all kinds of mess. I got all kinds of mess in here. That's the solid piece. So even this, like, look at this, Tristan. Like that would be a resin pocket right in there.
Yeah.
Those would be resin pocket. Well,
That
yeah.
definitely
So
would be. Do not want that.
take it.
I'm getting kind of hungry too.
Yeah. See, now it's not going to be a resin pocket. Now we're good to go. Just got to inspect every little bolt that I did. I'm afraid to start using delete hidden though, because now I'm afraid that I'll delete something that I wasn't trying to delete. It's like when I split it and then delete it, it's always like a failsafe.
Mm-hmm. Well, that for me is like whenever that pop up comes up saying like this is
Undoable
like
operation or
undo
whatever.
or non-undoable operation or something. Like they give you the option to like not show that again. I
You always
never
leave
hit
it.
that because I always leave that because if
The
I mess
failsafe.
something up and it's
Yeah.
gone, like I have almost messed up before, you know. That's the thing.
I have messed up multiple times.
Let me just go duplicate that. Delete the subdivisions on it so that I can import this guy. Go to my brush. Set the depth kind of low. Set the curve. Ooh, I'm gonna do that in stroke. Curve modifier, size, fall off, flip.
This will not select this stupid subtool. There it is.
We're gonna try this out.
Did I separate that? Oop. You still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just heard a buzz, and then I looked up, and I was the only person
No.
on screen.
I do still have you on full screen though. Okay. Hold on. I gotta do something real quick. Sure. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that one's good. Just taking forever, this process. This is one of the things I should eat is a bite one little bit at a time and then move on to something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is uninspiring as all get out.
Making these little antenna things is kind of kind of fun though.
Are you gonna do them thick enough to where? That's why I said those. That crown that you have that I did, like that little bitty horn that I have on that dragon head is too thin. So whatever you make there has to be thicker than what those are.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to, for detail, bring that in or not.
I mean, it's gonna be thicker, so. Honestly, it doesn't really matter at this stage. So hold on. Kind of thinking though, like, what if I? What do you think about that? Like, kind of have like a couple.
Max, I'm on my phone. Maximize your screen. I can't tell what I'm looking at right now. That's the side. No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. What about just the one? Like, what do you think about that?
I think make it bigger at the base.
Yeah, it's gonna be bigger. I'm gonna like inflate the whole thing.
Can you mirror that real quick and let me see two of them next to each other?
Yeah. Oh no.
What happened?
Hold on. There we go. Okay.
I feel like the Y shape that you're getting out of it, you can adjust the shape of it. Like I like them. I think maybe like have it arched,
Maybe like overhanging.
like almost like a St. Louis arch or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it feels like they're sticking up. See if you can just like grab the base and rotate it. Like yeah, set the pivot there and just kind of rotate it a little bit. Like I like the shape. The shape's good enough.
Oh, like pivot it.
Okay. Yeah, it's like make it go different directions.
What the heck?
You duplicated it somehow.
Okay.
What is the bell? Is the bell going to be like that? Or you're just going to leave it like that? Is that like what the butterflies do?
I mean, like, yeah, kind of. I
Let me
mean,
come
like,
down.
I'm gonna round this out a bit more, but
All right.
I just
Okay. I didn't know if you were going for that or not. Let me come down real quick.
okay.
Not going to be able to do anything because I can't use your program. Your program.
Something kind of like that.
You got the thing on it still? Where's your gizmo? Gizmo. I don't even know where that is anymore. I can't pitch this either. Oh my gosh. Is that how you had it?
Somewhat.
Rotate it. To the side view. View again. Goes like 3/4 maybe. And then just kind of pull that down with your.
Oh, I think
brush.
I see what you're saying. So kind of have it just like slicked back more.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And maybe you can move it out a little bit or whatnot.
Okay. Well, you know what? Honestly, I might just re-drag it because I understand what you're saying.
I mean, I think all you gotta do is make your thing real big and just pull that down to the head.
Actually,
Your move brush. Oh, the old bend modifier.
So I'm not like fighting the geometry.
Well, I don't know if I started there. I think it'd be cool if you started it. If you started further down in the head there,
Oh yeah.
so that's not as blank. You know what I mean? Something along those. See, but I like to still see these horns. So you're like melding them into those horns. So like you want to still be able to see those horns.
Well, those weren't really horns. Those were just
Oh.
kind of like a transition area.
Okay. Well, then you should make them horns.
Okay.
You should make it a little bit more horny. I would say, and then from here, right? What I would do is this area on the head, just do little bump horns, kind of like
Okay. Yeah.
dotted up into that.
Yeah. Because like I did want to kind of scale this up.
Because you don't want to have like legit horns because it's super small, but just like almost like like you've seen on my other dragon, like just the wings, just like mask out of scale and then just pinch it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
But feels like a snork. You even know what the snorks are?
Somewhat, yeah.
That hasn't been rebooted. There's so many things that haven't been rebooted. I don't know why they don't take chances on things that like okay, they come out with Trolls the movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could do a Snorks movie.
Dude, they're doing a new well there are rumored talks of a new Infamous game.
What did I just hear? That'll be fun. I just heard they're bringing Malcolm in the Middle back.
What?
Somebody said on Offworld that they're bringing Malcolm in the Middle back with the same cast.
That's crazy.
It's funny. He goes from Walter White back to Hal.
That's gonna be funny.
So, anyways, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Mirror it real quick so we can see what it looks like. Yeah, I like that a lot. And I'm not even against you making flyaway hairs go back there, but I think that might be a little much. I think those being up there like that. Dude, you're doing things I wouldn't even think to do. Other than that, completely different. I have inflated more often since I've seen you inflate stuff. That's just like yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's good. So you're not gonna have any actual horns on them? Just those things? Or the little hints of horns?
Since you kind of brought it up, like making these horns would be kind of cool. Like
just
having them having them kind of like surrounding the little antennas.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, that's the fun part.
And then that would give me an excuse to kind of do something similar, like the same sort of thing around the elbow.
Yeah. We're gonna have. You know what we're gonna have to do? This is gonna have to be a statue. It's gonna have to be blown up and then detailed out even more to be like something in the corner of somebody's layer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that, dude. I was like kind of like wondering if the little antennas were going to be a good idea, but I think they were totally a good idea.
Oh yeah. Huh. It's looking really good.
All right, then.
I'm gonna go back upstairs. We're gonna end the stream here in a little bit.
Okay.
Pretty quickly.
Okay.
I'm gonna go do one more.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
All right. Yeah. Not quite yet. Coming soon, bud. Yeah, I'll just on my end, I'll just button up this little piece right here. You're on full screen still, so. I'm gonna try to mirror this piece. I'm actually gonna make it longer. I think it's soloed. Down longer, push it in. Go to geometry, modify topology, mirror and weld. It's not where we want it to be, but close enough. Going to solo that out. I'm going to mask this off. Move it like that to where I want it.
Oops.
So 1, 2, 3. Merge down. Okay. Merge down. Okay. Is that a solid piece again? Is that you whistling? Or is that
Yeah. Sorry. Can't believe you heard that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in front of a microphone.
Oh. Yeah, I'm getting real hungry.
All right, let me just do one thing here and we'll end it. Boolean subtract. Put that below that. Seeing it cutting in here. Looks like we're cutting smooth.
You talked about like using like the build up brush for things like I use that's me with the standard brush. Like I use the standard brush for so many more things than I used to.
Yeah.
Like even just like sketching stuff out really quick, like I'll just sketch it out with a standard brush.
I think that's how I get how you say you get all that stuff done that quickly. I'm like, yeah, just the standard brush. I just you can get close enough with this. I was telling your mom because she wants to learn how to sculpt. She wants to start sculpting. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much move standard and Damien standard. You know,
Yeah,
and
pretty
smooth.
much.
And then like, yeah, you'll have pinches for certain things here and there, but you don't use that as much. You know, you're not going to
Yeah.
use you know use rake or the clay. I don't think I've ever even clicked on the clay brush. I do use clay buildup, but I don't even think I use the clay brush. Some people,
The clay brush, I see a lot of people do like skin with the clay brush. And honestly, like I kind of want to start using that more, but just haven't done that.
so I'm curious. I mean, it's going to be if you see this, if I look at this one you have, that's about thumb size. This is your last shin piece, which is crazy because I'm doing this shin piece, this robot shin piece, and you pretty much have the same thing. It's like I definitely could have just got away with using this on the custom and it'd been fine.
Yeah.
And it's just like looking back on it now, it is so similar. I even got the double things on the back. All I really had to do was make a because I don't have that front plate on. I really just had to make the front plate and just super glue it on there, and I probably would have been fine. But
Probably.
whatever.
Hindsight.
I didn't say. Oh, look, I just made the same piece. All right. Well, yeah. I don't know if I'll see that faceting on this. Maybe it's too late. I don't know. Maybe I'll hide this and I'll split selected, split hidden, and I'll do the old trick that I've been doing this whole time, which is go to dynamic subdivision. That dynamic subdivision looks like it did what I wanted to do. I'll just adjust some things, see if I can Sharpen it a little bit more. You see that right there? Oh, I still got it in there. Dynamic subdivision. Mess with the Q grid.
I think one of my favorite things, like I used to complain a lot about like things that I would like picture in my head, not like coming
Turning
out,
out.
turning out the way that I wanted them to.
Yeah.
But now I just think now I kind of like that things don't always like turn out
Oh, see,
exactly the way I pictured them.
I thought you were gonna go the opposite there. Like, oh, I can do it now.
No, well, but it's like I've kind of found with like every project that I've done, it's like all the things that like kind of just like come out as a surprise,
Yeah.
like the happy accidents,
Ooh. Yep. Yep.
like
I found that happens when I'm just sculpting a random female head. So I get that happy surprise when it's just like, oh, she's beautiful. Where'd that come from? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
so it's kind of like the same feeling, I think.
Yeah, and it's just like I used to complain about that to an extent, whereas like, oh, I feel like the things that I'm making like aren't turning out the way that I pictured them. But now it's like, well, that's kind of the beauty of it.
Yeah, I got you. I can't help myself. I'm gonna have to go in here and do some type of little cyber, a little cyber thingy, little detail. Oh, mess that up.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if anybody stopped in today.
No, I don't think they did, and that's fine. Again, I don't know if we're gonna continue with streams like this. Like, I enjoy it and have fun with it, but in the end, it's like if we could be doing something differently.
Well, I mean, we've said before, and I still think it's true that like even if we're just doing this for us, like just that having this time together to just like
It's a
bust some
catalog
stuff
of where
out.
it's a catalog of where we've come from. You know what I mean? Or our improvements.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like, yeah, like it doesn't really matter that much to me. I just thought it was funny.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's a beautiful day. I'm sure. A, everybody's outside, but B, we don't. I mean, we don't really. We're not super consistent, so
We've been doing better.
we've been doing better.
I mean, we don't have consistent times, but
Well, neither does Hedgehog. Like he's a. Sometimes, some weeks they do it. Sometimes they don't. So right here, I'm just using some alphas to kind of come in here.
here, real quick, I think you'll like what I'm doing here. Hold on.
Big in it. I do. Well, that's why I thought you left the big forehead so you could do some stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, even just like what I'm doing, like right here
with the eyebrow. Yeah, that's cool. Are those going to be scale? Are those little scales like fish scales on his forehead?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, I like it for sure. Let's see. Can we do? Oh, I'm so mad at myself.
Why?
Well, I was struggling with this piece for one thing, and then I realized that it was the focal shift needed to be all the way out, or else it gets weird. So
Yeah.
I figured it out, so we're good. I think, I was doing the alphas a little bit before, and I think like that could be just a whole big just creating alphas and using them and figuring out how to use them. I know other people have alphas packs and stuff like that, but like just being able to use the alphas that they give you is like super. You can get a lot of good stuff out of it, and I know it could be considered samey or whatnot if like people know what you're using and who are like sculptors, but like regular people will just be like, "Oh, that's some cool detail." You know what I mean? Like, look at all that
Yeah.
detail. Where sculptors like, "Up, use that alpha, you use that one, and that one."
Oh, you use that one. Well, but you know, if they know that you used it, probably means they use it too.
There's that. All right, well, that's where I got to today. I have all these other pieces. This is one of my favorite parts about this, though. Is just this immortal skull, how it just got on there really, really good.
Yeah.
I was gonna write like words and stuff on it, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll put that skull in there. So hopefully, I'll be able to merge it down. And you're not even looking. It's
Sorry.
solar on you. Hopefully, I'll be able to merge this down, and it'll end up being something usable. I mean, I still do think mine's a step. I mean, not a step up, but different enough from your original that it's worth doing. You know, keeping
Yeah.
going with it. So, anybody that catches this on replay, thanks for stopping by, and Kristen, we will see you next week.
See you guys next week. Bye bye.